thrilled that TRU Realty is right now in Mumbai. And now moving forward, today I'm profusely elated to take an opportunity to introduce our chief host for the fireside chat. She's a media and communications professional with 20 plus years of experience in business news, real estate and personal finance. She has worked with India's leading news channels NDTV and CNBC TV 18 as correspondent and editor. The current host for the Property Show on NDTV 24/7. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Manisha Natarajan.
Good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me? All right, great. So, Sujay, the easy part is over. Now is the tough part. Huh?
That's why you are here.
You're in the hot seat. And
Before
I have
you start,
face to face.
Before you start, let me sort of do a googly. How does it feel to interview me when I was working somewhere, and how does it feel for you to interview me when I am owner? How do you feel?
How do I feel? Okay, now dekha, ghuma diya. Well, I have higher expectations.
Oh.
Not lower.
Okay.
Because now it's your own company and you're on a mission, a man on a mission to change the way real estate works in India, isn't it, Sujay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so let's start with the projects that you're going to do. How will they be different?
Many things actually. So it starts with what U stands for in TRU, which is focus. How do we do actual product development is very different. So I'll give you a live example of how we did at Kekarav, which is a project with Shri and Shrem, Nitin Bhaiya as our partners. They allowed us to do something nice. So I once again thank Shri. When a particular project comes, we actually open it up to the entire market. Okay. So digitally, we try and get maximum inputs. So the first thing, it starts with a design competition where we aggregate what are the design trends which are going on. So we understand what are expectations of customers and our channel partners. Then it comes to actual product. So from there, for example, we said that villas and horizontal development is the best for Kekarav. That's why we convinced and they got convinced that we should do horizontal development. Then when it came to actual product specifications, amenities, all of that, there are actually more than 100 live customers who are guiding us. On what? So for example, a small thing like a pet park came as an input from almost 30% of the customers. And like this, lot of iterations. We call it My Opinion Matters, MOM. So it's on the portal. And that's how the engagement with our potential customers and channel partners on the sales side starts much prior to actual approvals coming into picture. So we already have a ready demand which is there. The buzz spreads out into the market that something is coming. And all of this engagement ultimately helps us in reducing our sales and marketing cost.
So here's my question. I mean, in a family, if there are 5 people, they can't agree on what they want from a home.
Absolutely.
How do you get so many people to actually come together and have a sort of a design movement?
Absolutely.
And not thrust a product on them, but actually build based on their feedback. How's that experience been?
Very valid point, Manisha. And the simple answer to it is, if of the 5 things that all those 5 people have told us, majority of other 5 households or customers in other households also want them, they are part of the amenity list. So we have something for everything.
Majority wins.
Absolutely. And that's why in my address also I said that time has come to democratize real estate. For too long, as developers, we have got what they wanted, but now is the time to deliver what customers want.
So give me 5 insights, and now I'm wearing my journalist hat because even I'm very interested to understand what are the top 5 things that customers want today, which TRU will deliver.
See, एक लाइन में अगर आंसर करना है तो जो बोला वो किया.
पहले तो वो.
That's about it, right? If we tell something, we have to be able to do that. That's about it. So we always say that कम बोलो ज़्यादा करो, right? So now, and most of the time, see, sustainability is very important. Amenities for all age groups is very important. Good quality is very important. Everything is important. But in the digital age, what is even more important is to tell and communicate that what is important to you is something that we are doing on the site, right?
The idea is for the customer to feel that the house is designed with his or her specifications.
Absolutely.
And to meet their needs.
Absolutely.
Rather than a product being thrust. You spoke about technology.
Yeah.
And I've had this huge disconnect with the real estate industry in India, particularly. We are very slow to adapt to technology in the entire development cycle, Sujay. आज के दिन में प्रोडक्ट लेट क्यों होता है? प्रोजेक्ट्स लेट आधे तो अप्रूवल्स के लिए होते हैं, विच आर नॉट इन योर कंट्रोल, बट आधे इसलिए भी होते हैं क्योंकि आपकी जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, कंस्ट्रक्शन टेक्नोलॉजी है, द वे यू आर बिल्डिंग, द वे यू आर सेलिंग, द वे यू आर aggregating your sustainable features, there's so much missing. Run us through some of the breakthrough ideas that you would want to adopt and adapt.
Right. I think the core issue with real estate development in my limited exposure of 14 years is we treat our people very badly. And that's a very bold statement.
Or which, when we say we treat our people
as a
very
developer,
badly,
if you compare us with some of the other industries, their human resources are treated as assets.
yes.
And they are allowed freedom to express their ideas. There is system and processes which are there to guide them. In real estate development, because of the fractured nature of the industry, we are used to working as not in a cohesive manner. As a result of which, what happens is the delays happen at decision making. You said approvals, no doubt approval delays are there, but if you actually look at projects, those got delayed in the last 10 years, 20% projects were only because of approvals mismatch. And that Anuj sir was here, and next time you meet him, you can very well ask him how many projects were actually delayed because of approvals and how many were delayed because of non-approval issues.
Sujay, when I ask the developers, वो तो सब बोलते हैं approval से.
See, it is right. So, and that's why we say that we are customers builder, right? And unless you recognize what the problem is, you can't solve the problem, right? And while people are there, we have tried to treat them as, our people are our biggest assets. Once that happens, then there is entire digitization, automation of the actual execution workflow between, in real estate development, the most important peg in the actual execution, site execution is my site engineer who stands there through the day, through sun, wind, water, rains, whatever. But unfortunately, he is the one who is the most disconnected. He doesn't know जो building का वो काम कर रहा है, उसका delivery date क्या है. So there is no direct connection. जो एक slab आज cast हो रहा है, उसका कितना budgeted था, कितना होना चाहिए था, कितना हुआ है actually, क्या delay हुआ है, ये सब reconciliation कभी होता है जब एक तो owner मांगते हैं या फिर chief operating officer या general manager मांगते हैं, right? So it is all not by exception reporting but by compulsion reporting. So a lot of these things, and prior experience with Anuj sir, with my earlier employers, and interaction with so many of our industry mates, we realized that for this to be able to solve, we are not at all claiming that we will solve everything. What we are saying is that we are on a mission to solve, and try and solve, right? We may succeed partly, we may not succeed partly, that only time will tell. But if we have to look at the first 3 years and some of the impact that we have been able to create, I suppose I get a feeling that we can rededicate ourselves to version 2.0 all my roommates will understand why version 2.0, because always for the last 3 years I've been saying that पहले version 1.0 करो फिर अगला सोचेंगे. We follow baby steps approach. Today is important. Tomorrow will happen only when today's things happen the way we are expecting.
So there's a lot of good intention.
Yes.
At least that's a very, very good start and a strong start. Tell me, when you go in as a development company, now another point of conflict in the sector is the relationship between the development partner and the landowners is sometimes turns, and not just sometimes, often turns sour, and the home buyer gets stuck, right? How are you going to make sure that is seamless?
No, you have raised a very important point, and we only work on relationships. We always believe that, for me, my partner, me, known devil is better than unknown, right? So, you are absolutely valid. Those conflicts are not going to go away from the sector, but it is important that the chemistry is maintained, and with RERA also into the picture, some of those sanity checks will be there in place.
All right. If I were to ask any of your partners, land partners, बताइए सुजय के साथ काम करने में कैसा लगा? But वो तो खैर अच्छा ही बोलेंगे. लेकिन tell us 3 things about Sujay which stand out. What do you think that will be?
Actually, I will also say good things only. So let us flip it, right? I will flip the question and say that what are the 3 things that my partners would say that they have not liked.
चलिए वही बता दीजिए.
Yeah, so वो difficult है. See, we always believe school में भी we were used to solving group D problems first rather than group ABC. So I will answer the most difficult part first. They will say that थोड़ा और बेहतर कर सकते थे, right? They will say that 20 बंगले बेचे, ठीक है 40 भी हो सकते थे, right? And they will also say that अगला प्रोजेक्ट पक्का करेंगे.
चलिए. So then that's it. That's a validation. All right. So now let me come to your team. If the team had to describe Sujay, because you said, look, unless you have your people with you, they are your best asset, you're not going to be able to deliver a product which is 2.0, right? So what will your people say about you?
I think what they will say is बहुत soft है.
Really? I want to see. कोई है टीम में जो बोलता है कि बहुत सॉफ्ट है?
सभी हाथ उठा लेंगे क्योंकि अभी तो चेहरा भी दिखता है.
Really? I want to see the hands. No. चलो आप लोग का सबका अप्रेजल तो बहुत ही धांसू होने वाला है.
So I mean, see, first 3 years it was very important to reach and to cross. I always say that when I started, my father, it was a split second decision, and my father, on the day when I called him and said that I have resigned and I need to start on my own, he did not ask why, how, what. He only said one statement. He said, I have enough money to support your lifestyle for 2 years.
तो 2 साल में बस.
Right? जी ले अपनी जिंदगी. Fortunately, I did not have to draw down on that. But it is statements like those. I also remember Shri and me were having breakfast at Vaishali, and we were thinking of starting up another venture, and very problematic venture, very challenging, right? And I was telling him that इसमें पहले सब लोग NPA हो चुके, this, that. So he said, without blinking, without asking what, why, he said आप पे 50 का जुआ खेल लिया. So when I look back on all of these things were big things at that point of time. Yes. But that's where we are, and I think the team, coming back to the team, other than the fact that they will say soft, now they will actually see another round, which is more myself.
Okay.
Because now we are version 2.2.
All right. Well, then I'm going to come back after 3 years and then ask that question again. So then let me ask you. So father, yes, he seems that he was a big support in your entrepreneurial journey, but you can't do it. I mean, we are very close to the Women's International Day. So your better half support.
Oh,
How strong has that been, and what's the role that she's played
Very
in your
strong.
entrepreneurial journey?
yeah, very strong. On the same day when I told her, like my father, her first reaction was that let us go back to Pune because the rent here is something that we will not be able to afford. That's a fact. That's a fact.
That I can imagine.
Yes,
I
and that
can
was a fact. I mean, but yeah, that's history.
So why the entrepreneurial bug? Sujay, because you were already at the top. When you came on the show, you were CEO of Kolte Patil, and you'd taken the company from a relatively small size to a very large company and a listed player, right?
Right.
So what was it? वो कीड़ा क्या था कि ये अपना काम करना है वो भी real estate में, which is not an easy industry at all.
See, कीड़ा तो पहले से था, कीड़ा by birth ही है. But real estate में, yes, after working for almost 8 years, 9 years, 3 years in Jones Lang LaSalle, 6 years in Kolte Patil, I realized that the way industry was shaping and the way we were working, there was far more that I could do as an individual with a focused group of team members who are part of the band, right? And while I tried to do something similar at my earlier employer, the legacy issues and and they were already very, very successful. So that really prompted me to take the bet and try and do something that I felt is what is going to be relevant over the next 20 years. So that was the main intention. It actually helped, and the decision was made very easy. Again, partly because of the support system that I had, that I did not have to worry too much, about how will I pay the bills. Having said that, the first year rent was a big thing for me, and that's where Anuj sir and Shobit, unfortunately Shobit couldn't make it, he's not well, but he gave me an opportunity where I earned 40 lakhs in the first year, and that actually took care of my rental.
Wow.
So big thing. And like friends and support system like Shri and Nitin sir, everyone made sure that I am successful.
Excellent. You can't do it alone.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Shobit.
Shobit's here. Hello.
Hey, sir,
आ जाइए आप पहले थोड़ा नाम ले लेते शोभित का, थोड़ा पहले ही आ जाते.
सर एकता वाला स्टोरी बता रहा था. हाँ.
Okay, so now a couple of more questions. So we've had a very good year, right? But it's also come on the back of very subdued years post demonetization for India's residential sector. And now again, just when the industry started seeing good times and sales started picking up, you suddenly have a world which is changed with a war, right?
Right.
Are you nervous?
Little bit.
You are.
100%. And last week only Shri and me were discussing. When what I told him is, भाई अगर ये 2-3 दिन में खत्म हुआ तो नसीब, ये हफ्ता 10 दिन चल गया तो third world war. And it's now already 8th day, and the tone is only getting harsher.
Yes.
The intent is only getting murkier. So we are already seeing steel at 75 cross, cement at 400 plus, oil at $115 a barrel. It is directly impacting our profitability. So little nervous.
But nothing stays up forever, nothing stays down forever, right? It's
Absolutely.
a cycle. It's just, I just hope to God that, for the sake of both the home buyers, that the inflation doesn't come back to bite so much that it takes away that, bite from that, or enthusiasm of the home buyer. Anybody has any questions for Sujay? Please ask. I will ask all the tough questions. आप बस मुझे इशारा कर दीजिए कि क्या पूछना है.
अभी कुछ और रहे tough questions.
नहीं, tough तो नहीं थे, but I'm going to then say congratulations.
Thank you,
I
Manisha.
think you've mentioned Anuj so many times that seems like he is one of your mentors. Anybody else who inspires you?
Shobit, more importantly, because he was the one who recruited me from campus in Indian School of Business. I have often told him, I will again repeat him at his annoyance actually. He was the one who explained in 2007 what is the full form of FSI.
Oh my God.
So floor space index, that's the kg for me. And obviously he was a boss then. He was a philosopher in between, and he's a friend now. And many, but some of them I've all been, they stood like a rock with me. So thank you once again.
So congratulations once again and all the very best to
Thank
you,
you.
your team and all your well-wishers and
Thank you.
mentors.
Thank you.
Please do change the industry. It really needs people like you, entrepreneurs like you, who can make it better and at par with the global best.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, Manisha. Thank you for taking out time, flying out to Mumbai at our behest. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir and ma'am, for enlightening us with your reserves of knowledge. Now, I would like to call upon the director of TRU Realty to present her vote of thanks. The little known fact about this personality includes her diverse traits. She is an engineer in electronics with MA Sanskrit and a trained singer in Indian music. With great pleasure, I am inviting Mrs. Sharda Sujay Kalele.
On behalf of TRU Realty, I thank each and every one of you for being here on our special day and making it special for us. Each one of you has played a very important role in building TRU Realty, and we seek your continuous support and blessings and wishes. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for patiently lending yourselves to this evening. We hope to meet you at the dinner and cocktail while a live music team performs some lovely music for you all. Thank you everyone.